Tina, live life to the fullest.
Okay.
Let the past be the past.
Okay.
YOLO.
Ooh, YOLO.
They are all catchphrases we've heard, and they all sound great, but are we really implementing them into our lives and becoming happier because of it?
That's a deep thought. Author Kellie Fitzgerald is here to help us on the road to enlightenment and how to leverage social media to get there. And Kellie, we've had you on the show before talking about your last book, about the road to enlightenment, getting rid of that old trash. And now we're kind of taking, with this new book, a different angle, but still looking to be happy.
Exactly, and thank you so much for having me back on.
So this book, tell me a little bit about it. There's so many people that have come together to make this book happen.
This is a compilation of 30 different women's stories. It's called Empowered Women of Social Media, Finding Global Unity in Social Communities. And it came about really through a series of Facebook posts. Different women, the Women's Empowerment Network on Facebook was just a safe place, a safe group on social media where women could go and talk about whatever it was that was going on in their lives. So that's sort of evolved into this book.
And you said there are 30 co-authors, is that right?
Yes.
And so what can we expect in the book to read about from the different authors? Because I'm sure it's different viewpoints and different topics.
Everyone is different, and yet we've determined we are really all one woman.
Wow, that's cool.
There are people from all over the world. Yesterday I was talking to someone from India. The day before it was someone from Japan. So it really is a global project. There are people talking about their childhoods, overcoming a horrible childhood. There are people who have had addiction issues. There are people who have suffered through sexual abuse. There are people, just a wide variety of women. There are a couple of women that talk about grief relating to losing an infant. So there's a story for everyone in this book.
Well, and what was your perspective that you added to the book?
In my part of this book, I actually told a story I've never told before. So, and having written a couple of other books, it was like, wow, there's something I haven't said yet. Amazing. But it's my journey has been a very varied one. I started on this path once before and got very sick and went through a number of issues, an abusive marriage, just any number of things that could happen to someone I've sort of been through. I went through illness and multiple surgeries, and my part of this book emphasizes that if everybody else can go through what they've gone through, you can do it too. And there is nothing like telling your story and knowing that you've made it through. I tell people it's baby steps. You know, it's if everybody has a dream, everybody has seeds of greatness inside them. What I do now as a result of going through my path is I help people find those seeds of greatness. And how do you go from there? What do you do with that? How do you become the very best you can be? And all of that is in this book. It's an amazing book.
It sounds like it. And while we are talking about social media, why don't you tell us about how social media has impacted you and your business?
Social media, I am not certain that without social media I would have a life coaching business. Most of the clients that I get, I do a lot of work through Skype and on the phone, also in person, but I started really through Facebook, meeting people online, and you know, they needed someone to talk to, and I just was there a lot. And that's what I have found. You hear so many negative things about social media and people wasting their lives on social media, and with this group that has not been the case at all. We've actually been helping put lives back together. So it's been extremely cathartic for most of these women with this book, and extremely empowering. That's where we got the name, Empowered Women of Social Media.
Well, Kellie, I think this new book, this project, is such an inspiring thing that all of these women got together for the greater cause. And again, I love that there is a story for everybody out there. And we are going to tell our viewers where to get the book. But first, I want to say thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And you can get Kellie Fitzgerald's book by logging on to whenontheroadtoenlightenment.com, and you can get a half-price life coaching session when you mention that you saw her on The Morning Blend. And with the service, you get a free copy of the book.